Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to the webinar. Let's wait for a few more seconds till all the attendants walk in. Good morning everyone again. We are waiting for all the attendants to join in for the webinar and we'll be starting shortly. Yep, I believe it's time to start. So welcome everyone. My name is Jatin Dhawan. I am the North America Marketing Manager for Kellton Tech. Thank you for joining us for our webinar today on how APIs and hybrid integration accelerates digital transformation. Before we get started, I need to go over a little bit of housekeeping. Should you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the Q&A section of your control panel and we will be addressing them at the end of the webinar. If we do not have the time to respond to your questions live, we will respond to them via email. As a reminder, this session is being recorded. We will be also sending a link to the recording and the slide deck in the next few days. But before we get started on today's topic, I would like to provide you with a brief of corporate overview. Kellton Tech has been a pioneer of digital transformation for the past decade with operations in North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific. Our clients range from startups to Fortune 500 companies with the core strength supported through our ISO 9001 certification and CMMI level 5 compliance. We are a 1500 plus employees strong and are a publicly rated company. Kellton Tech is a new age global IT services consulting company. We design, develop, and operate digital technologies that create new business models for our clients. Our digital services cross three major pillars: digital transformation. Our digital services portfolio include digital commerce and marketing, enterprise mobility, digital governance, big data analytics, software R&D labs, and outsourced co-product development. Digital integration provides integration services in support of your digital systems by providing focused services on API strategy and management, IoT integration, enterprise integration, and OT IT integration. Digital enterprises enables intelligent enterprises by leveraging end-to-end SAP solutions as an SAP Gold partner with a core expertise in ERP, PLM, CRMs, and SCM implementations. I am honored to have me with today Murli Pulakam and Varun Tumala. Murli is a veteran in enterprise architecture, solution designs, and integration strategy and development. He has demonstrated success in leading and mentoring cross-functional programs in multifaceted environments. Varun is a senior manager at Kellton Tech. He is an enterprise integration expert who has delivered several data integration solutions and platforms for supply chain, healthcare, insurance, consumer electronics, and utility industry clients. With over 17 years of experience, he is passionate about helping solve complex customer challenges and innovative technology advancements. For the agenda today, we will be talking about need and emergence of hybrid integration platforms, core elements of hybrid integration strategy, how APIs are driving digital transformations, why APIs are an architectural premise for hybrid integration platforms. Then we'll be discussing about microservices and touching upon API-led modernization, API-led connectivity, and API monetization. Now I'll hand over to Murli to begin our official webinar discussion on how APIs and hybrid integration accelerate digital transformation. Over to you, Murli.
Thank you, Jatin. Hello, everyone. Appreciate taking time to attend our webinar. Uh, Next slide, please, Jatin. So in this session, I will explain the strategy of hybrid integration and how this approach is being implemented by the modern platforms. So the revolution of cloud computing has given birth to the concept of hybrid IT. It is an approach to enterprise computing in which organizations provide and manage IT resources in-house, but uses cloud-based services to users. The transforming IT architectures have paved the way for hybrid cloud integration platforms, which enables the unified output to business users, irrespective of how the IT platforms are set up in any organization. So hybrid cloud integration is the new way to integrate. It allows you to provide a captivating customer experience by connecting anything from on-premise frameworks, cloud apps, all the way to the edge IoT gadgets. So with the emergence of cloud and SaaS applications, organizations can build the new age applications in cloud and migrate some applications from on-premise to cloud-based solutions. This model is becoming more important in creating a robust forward-looking capabilities model. It also permits on-premise applications to integrate with cloud-based applications seamlessly and securely, permits your IT team to quickly track development and improve efficiency and lower the risk factors in accomplishing digital integration. Why hybrid cloud integration? So businesses must redefine integration strategy techniques in order to provide a liaison between legacy systems and cloud technologies. So converting to an out-and-out cloud platform is not a viable solution for any business, nor continuing the on-premise legacy systems. The hybrid integration becomes a perfect fit to integrate legacy on-premise systems with cloud data. It helps to resolve many of the challenges we face when moving to the cloud. The hybrid integration platform and strategy has become very crucial for businesses because of the established on-prem integration platforms are not able to address the new digital and cloud integration requirements. Although iPaaS, SaaS, and API tools support these new needs, they require new specialized skills and do not support integration content portability across each other in multiple cloud and on-prem scenarios. The one platform for all integration scenarios still remains suboptimal, although it is technically possible to achieve. It is not a realistic proposition for organizations with complex integration challenges. So additionally, application leaders in charge of integration are under the pressure to reshape their integration infrastructure strategy in order to tackle the new pervasive challenges stemming from digital transformation projects that involve the cloud mobility, the IoT, and API integration. The hybrid integration platform is a framework of on-premise and cloud-based integration and governance capabilities that enable differently skilled personas like integration specialists and non-specialists to support a wide range of integration use cases. I can list down some key benefits of hybrid integration. They ensure regulatory compliance, prevents businesses from adopting full cloud integration. Some country-specific data protection laws forbid from leaving its source, and sometimes certain confidential data must remain behind the enterprise firewall. Hybrid integration provides a perfect solution by giving companies more control to how their data is handled. It handles security and privacy. Businesses can determine the kind of data that should stay behind the firewall and which can be operated on the cloud. This also helps to segregate and track the data movement. Fosters innovation, provides an opportunity for businesses to incrementally deploy low risk applications in small chunks to test the waters, reduces the risk and grows the applications incrementally in cloud at their own space, maximizes the investment. It's more important for organizations to combine both on-premise and cloud systems. The hybrid integration layer allows businesses to work with newer applications in cloud while continue to drive the value from legacy applications. I'll discuss some key areas of hybrid integration strategy in the coming slides. Next slide, please. So one of the key area is data integration in cloud. So with the advancements in the data storing technologies like data lakes, cloud storage, in-memory storage, NoSQL DBs, cloud applications along with traditional RDBMS, the data spaghetti scenarios have grown bigger and bigger, even with latest data lake management tools like Snowflake, Google BigQuery, Amazon Redshift, and etc. So an ideal integration technology brings order to the enterprise as well as to the data in the enterprise with proper integration in place in a hybrid data environment. You can implement best governance and security around the data using proper integration technologies and methodologies. So now how data lakes can support integration, by bulk data processing for ETL based use cases, the data service bus specific capability to interoperable with application services, the single record level object encapsulation and ability to process large volumes of such events with integrity. And the replication specifically does not change the form, structure, or content of the data as it moves. The synchronization specifically focuses on establishing and maintaining consistency between two separate and independent managed create, read, update, delete instances. So the next in line is the multi-cloud application integration. It's a strategy which enables integrating multiple public and private cloud environments via APIs, leveraging different iPaaS platforms like Dell Boomi Software AG, Jitterbit. Organizations that are having their applications on the different cloud also want to integrate into different cloud environments, and with the availability of multi-cloud management platform, organizations can reduce their dependency on a single cloud provider. So leveraging hybrid integration platform strategy, any business can integrate to multi-cloud environments via API gateways. It is important not to confuse the term multi-cloud with hybrid cloud, because these terms refer to two different aspects of cloud computing. The multi-cloud use cases rely on more than one cloud provider, whereas hybrid clouds are classified as an environment that uses a combination of different cloud and on-premise systems. This multi-cloud app integration increases the productivity and efficiency for organizations and can significantly improve their productivity and their businesses by using multiple clouds. They improve flexibility and is suitable for the versatility needed to complete multiple tasks efficiently. And the dynamic pricing benefits organizations that uses multi-cloud integration and have the benefit of switching between cloud applications with different pricing models. It also helps businesses to avoid vendor lock-in and costly situations while keeping cloud providers honest. The multi-cloud deployments usually enable failovers and disaster recovery between cloud providers, and for this reason, if there's downtime with one provider, organizations can quickly shift their resources to another for high availability. So let's understand about legacy applications in the cloud. So the on-premise integration provides legacy systems availability to cloud. The applications on-premise expose data as a service and application as a service to the cloud via APIs. So the legacy system integration tackles the challenge of connecting with APIs both on-premise and over the cloud, bridging the network divide. Integration takes information from on-premise systems and leverages new systems in order to drive the business. The hybrid integration strategy takes on the challenge of legacy system integration by exposing those systems and providing API gateways for communication between cloud and the legacy apps. So with the catalog of cloud connectors, users will have instant API connectivity to numerous applications and services, allowing for connection on premises or in the cloud. The tools can communicate between several components, messaging services, connectors, frameworks, etc., to streamline processes and ensures interoperability and the ability to connect cloud systems together to leverage shared data and maximize the input of the data across the organization. I want to shed some light on SaaS and B2B integration. SaaS data integration has become crucial for any business with applications, data, and processes in multi-tenant hybrid IT environment. As software as a service adoption has grown exponentially over the last few years, many organizations have adopted and started using SaaS applications for different purposes, like working with LOBs and external customers to provide data integration and connectivity capabilities. Mainly driven by business needs, any organization is necessitated to tightly integrate data in the SaaS app with on-premise backend systems and the databases. Now, the need for the B2B integrations is taking on new levels for the modern businesses. The larger the diversified customer base, the bigger the need for extensive integration capabilities. iPaaS is a no-brainer as a combination with B2B integration. They work hand in hand together for seamless integration and better solutions all around. The emergence of cloud-based solutions is affecting the market slowly. The success of electronic data interchange manages services from market leaders such as Boomi and Software AG has prevented cloud solutions from disrupting this market like they have others. Investing in digital transformation and focusing on digital operational excellence and ecosystem transformation will collaborate to improve the supply chain and significantly boost efficiency with the new age B2B integration strategies. Moving on to the next slide. So let's talk about digital transformation enablement by APIs. Next slide, please. So the competitive dynamics of businesses have changed no matter whether your company is brick and mortar or high tech. You need to turn your business into digital to remain competitive in today's application economy. Staying focused begins with the retention, loyalty, and growth of your customers in this new digital world. That means better interaction. You need to modernize business apps that inspire consumers to come back, offering engaging experience across social, mobile, and web channels, expand the customer engagement through IoT, open up data to capture new opportunities, better integrate processes across your market. Businesses across different verticals have opened new ways to differentiate and increase business value. They're all powered by APIs. APIs are the foundation blocks to what the industry calls digital transformation. And API strategy is the holistic approach your enterprise takes to plan, execute, and realize business outcomes through APIs. So an API business strategy is arrived on certain key drivers and priorities for a business. During our churn, we have come across some main drivers which are leveraged in executing digital transformation initiatives for our customers. So they improve your customer experience, increases operational efficiency, generates revenue through new business models within your industry verticals, creates new business models in adjacent industry verticals through ecosystems. They also enable your partners digitally to increase the value of transactions on your platform. These drivers are neither exclusive nor to be sequentially realized. There's an imperative to exploit APIs as revenue generating business models. Considering the huge risk of disruption from disruptive startups and the platform companies which are emerging in the market today. Moving on to the next slide, talk a little bit about the API economy. So we are in the middle of a technology transition. The digital convergence like the mobile, SaaS, cloud, big data, Internet of Things, and social forces are causing a huge disruption in the industry and altering customer preferences. In today's world, every user needs to have a personalized dynamics ways always up and systems up and running. When a single organization unlocks its proprietary systems, processes, and data by publishing an API, it creates value and potentially a revenue stream. So for both itself and its business partners. So multiplying this effect by multiple organizations together, co-joining this ecosystem, it creates something called API economy, whereby the value is created from the APIs that not only operate independently, but also enable new and unique applications to be created from a mashup of several APIs. Instead of publishing an application that solves a specific use case, in an API economy, a business can package the functionality as an API and make it available for entirely new use cases that could not have been anticipated by publisher of the API. We can move beyond our core offerings with the use of APIs and provide our customers with comprehensive smart solutions, and we can develop entirely new solutions together with our customers and partners, link numerous digital channels together, and create new experiences for our end users by using our own business processes or equipment. Take Lyft or Uber, for example. They were able to take public APIs such as Google Maps and payment gateways, combine them with their own unique business process, and then deliver them into a kind of a mobile application, and it ended up transforming the transportation industry. It is obvious that the big ones no longer eat the smaller ones, the faster ones do not eat the slower ones. The speed is the single most significant characteristic deciding the performance of any organization today, and API economy plays a very crucial role in achieving that. Next slide, please. So let me talk about API projects versus projects. The most impactful API programs are typically led by a team that builds APIs as products designed to maximize productivity for internal and external developers. Many organizations now manage APIs as products with full life cycles and long-term roadmaps that are always evolving to meet business needs. We have observed that organizations that treat APIs as products, not projects, are more likely to realize the potential value of APIs as business accelerators. We're starting to see more enterprises adopt this API product mindset. So, what is an API product mindset? This means that designing and delivering APIs for a long term value at scale and evolving them over time to meet changing customer needs. This contrasts with approaching APIs as one-time projects or several discrete projects where they deliver more limited value in terms of extensibility, longevity, and reach. A key part of an API product mindset is designing APIs like products. How an API is designed can dictate how easily it can be consumed by developers and how easily it can be leveraged in new ways in the future. If the API is designed only to build a connection within the scope of a project, its creator might neglect documentation, consistent design standards, considerations for versioning and security, and other factors important for the future use and extensibility. So the product mindset requires API to be managed as a product and should be owned by a product manager, unlike project manager whose responsibility is to deliver a set of requirements. There should be a designated API product owner who should recognize all the native features of the functionality and coordinate the goals and future value of the API program with other managers and leaders. To ensure that the API product meet customer expectations, the product owner slash manager should have full visibility and access to the tools, procedures, agreements, and observations. Moving on to the next slide. So if hybrid integration is all about building cohesive strategies, then API is the cohesive style. So for hybrid integration, it is essential to understand that API is the one universal language that makes integration happen successfully and with the utmost security. So while transforming all interactions between IT applications and digital systems within and outside the organization to API-based integration is an obvious step in the right direction to address all the needs. It is important to formulate and adopt a strategy at an enterprise level. This will ensure that the entire IT organization and the resources available to it are aligned with the overarching strategic goals and tactical initiatives for the organizations. These APIs play a very key role in making integration both flexible as well as possible, and an advanced hybrid integration platform allows adapters to efficiently leverage the capabilities of API, a middleware agent efficiently. Right from the system reengineering, rapid SaaS integration, SaaS throttling to data synchronization, API monetization, and improving the performance of UI and UX, and more, hybrid integration leverage API capabilities to extract business value from all different endpoints, personas, integration domains, as well as deployment models. APIs can undeniably be said to be an innovation key that open up the opportunity doors for companies. It facilitates the communication between applications, microservices, user interfaces, cloud, and more. So they enable the businesses to share enterprise-wide data with third parties without compromising the security aspects of the data. My colleague Varun will talk about the API strategy and its key focus areas, which I was touching upon. So over to Varun.
Okay. Thank you, Jatin and Murali, and hello everyone. Thank you for your time this morning. We really appreciate your the opportunity to share our experience in the topics we are discussing right now. And let's discuss some key models in API strategy now. As part of this, we will touch upon some important topics such as microservices, API-led modernization, API-led connectivity, API monetization, analytics, and also irrespective of whether your organization is in the early stages of adopting API strategy or somewhat further along in implementing the API strategy, we hope this discussion will bring you some ideas to enhance your API strategy and implementation. We also think that the topics we are covering here are completely technology agnostic and can be applied to whichever technology you have either already chosen or planning to use in the near future. Next slide, please. Now, most likely we have all seen monolithic architectures in the past, and up to some extent, even now we are supporting these gigantic monolithic services in our environment. Without a doubt, monolithic services and architecture bring a lot of challenges like tight coupling, lack of agility, and so on. They are essentially rigid systems, posing some practical problems we clearly have faced, like deployment issues, failures, larger downtimes, They're mostly fault prone, almost impossible to scale. Especially when more and more applications are deployed into the cloud. With monolithic applications, change cycles are tied together. A small change made to a small part of the application requires the entire monolith to be rebuilt and deployed. And scaling requires a scaling of the entire application rather than parts of it that require the greater resource. The microservice architecture style is an approach to developing a single application as a suite of smaller services. Each of the services running in its own process and communicating with lightweight mechanisms. These services are built around business capabilities and independent deployable by fully automated deployment machinery. And these services may be written in different programming languages, and they may be even using different storage technologies. And they can even be managed by different teams. Now let's look at some key characteristics of the microservices. Now, a primary characteristic of microservices would be that they need to be independent service components. They need to be organized around the business capabilities as smallest possible products. Microservices also demand decentralized data management as well. And microservices need to be easily deployable, automated, and they need to demand lesser and shorter test cycles. They need to be designed for failures, obviously. And there is also a sidecar pattern in microservices. In this pattern, the libraries which do functionalities like observability, monitoring, logging, configuration, circuit breaker capability are implemented separately, but co-located with each microservice as a sidecar in their own container. Another key consideration while implementing microservices architecture is being able to release faster and shorter deployment cycles. And as a number of microservices grow in an environment, it brings its own challenges with regards to releases and deployments. It becomes completely essential to adopt a continuous integration and continuous deployment practices. Source control becomes mandatory in this type of scenarios. We also need to look at network chatter that is going to increase because of smaller modules in the monolithic service and now becoming individual services. Not only the chatter, but in some cases, overall system resources and appropriate infrastructure required for an application may also need to be increased. We may also need to consider some type of messaging layer in between these microservices in order to throttle the traffic asynchronously. And these are only few of the things that we need to consider for coming up with the microservice architecture. Now let's look at the role of APIs managing your microservices architecture. It is obvious that when you break your monolithic application into multiple smaller microservices, the need for governance also increases. And microservices, due to their sheer number of them, cannot individually implement the security. We also need a common documentation repository for all these microservices. And the API management platform will provide all these underlying needs by the way of comprehensive governance and cataloging across the microservice ecosystem. As microservice ecosystem increases in organizations, service discovery becomes essential. It is quite common to see duplicate services doing almost the same exact thing when there is no proper service discovery and not enough documentation. And API management can help here as well, and it should be one of the items to consider in the solid API strategy. Next slide, please. And with what we have discussed about microservices so far and how APIs can fulfill microservice needs, let's now see how APIs lead the modernization efforts in organization in the digital transformation journey. It's the classic question: should IT spend its time maintaining legacy investments to create investments or create new things? It is very clear from a lot of surveys, IT decision makers say legacy systems are holding their organizations back from using digital technologies to innovate or make operational efficiencies and Legacy systems are essentially the barriers to completing the IT projects. Legacy modernization also means adapting these older legacy systems to support modern business and technology and needs. Organizations may not be able to survive if they don't adapt to modern technologies like cloud, big data, IoT, mobile, etc. In this era, change is constant, and business models are disrupted every day, maintaining old systems. And for an enterprise which was not born in the digital era, have a sizable footprint of legacy IT systems that still support mid-office or back office enterprise IT. These IT systems that are non-differentiating are quickly replaced by SaaS and moved to cloud to optimize the operations and cost. But those legacy enterprise systems that do not have viable option in cloud or SaaS are in a dire need to be modernized and transformed to cater to the new digital demands. APIs are not just for supporting the underlying technical stack in an organization, but they are more importantly business transforming. APIs bring agility in transforming and modernizing the legacy IT systems for digital demand. API-led modernization, first and foremost, improves customer and user experience. It opens up access to legacy systems. It enables digital channels easily access legacy applications at real time. APIs also abstract the experience layer from backend applications. They reduce maintenance costs and accelerate implementation of legacy integration use cases. Typically, API modernization involves transforming legacy services into modern REST APIs with latest security standards like OAuth 2.0, JW2, and some other technologies. There are a few common approaches for API modernization, like facade approach, hybrid models, and some other comprehensive models. In facade approach, APIs act just as a facade for existing legacy services with additional security. Once these facades are created, we can parallelly work on transforming legacy services and infrastructure. In hybrid API model, along with facade APIs, we can create containers of microservices and expose them as APIs with strong security. In a more comprehensive approach, though, some of the eligible APIs can be moved into cloud and utilize hybrid integration strategies we discussed earlier to integrate with on-premise APIs. And API management at a high level can be divided into 4 phases. The first thing being creating API design, development, mediation, and orchestration. Any API management platform we choose need to support API designs in open API specification format and then publish them for APIs for consumption. We should be readily be able to apply policies before and after invoking the backend systems. In most cases, the platform should support exposing legacy services as APIs with additional security, and it should also support routing, mashing, mediation, and transformation. And then controlling the API platform with API security, traffic, API deployments, testing, and operations. As part of this, API platform should support traffic management such as quota, spike arrest, and to protect backend systems from sudden surge in number of requests. Platform also needs to support easy deployments and caching. It will make it very easy for deployments if platform supports existing CI/CD processes in the organization. Also, caching reduces the overall stress on the environment. And coming to the consuming phase contains API publishing, consuming, and API monetization. API consumption is one of the most critical elements in the API management lifecycle. A well-designed API can lead to easier API consumption. Developer portal that come along with API management platforms help API consumers to browse through APIs and documentation, and they can get access by registering apps, and they can try out a mock APIs. Some, but not all platforms provide monetization. But the ones that are providing monetization, they provide rate plans, billing, taxation features, and create new revenue channels for the organization through API programs. Then we need to analyze using API analytics, monitoring, and alerting to improve the strategy all over. Once the APIs are deployed into production, operation team they need to continuously monitor them, get regular alerts in case of any anomalies, so that they can react to them without further impact. The more granular level monitoring and alerting the API platform provides, the better. The important thing here will be to achieve end-to-end tracing and drill down capabilities. Again, analytics are not provided out of the box by all API platform providers, but it becomes very critical as the program grows to understand how the APIs are consumed, by whom, and during which time frame, etc. With the insights from API analytics, business leaders in the organization can take informed decisions about the API programs, like where there is less traction, where they need to add more efforts to bring more API traffic and possibly more revenue from that. The core API management capability is API lifecycle management. Managing the API lifecycle involves consideration for both the API provider and the API consumer, most often the API app developers. API providers manage the process for designing, developing, publishing, deploying, versioning, governance, monitoring availability, and measuring performance, etc. API consumers discover new APIs, understand versioning and API updates, easily register for access to the APIs, test and register apps built against the APIs, and communicate and collaborate with other developers and API provider. Most of the organizations use the API first strategy, in which they start by documenting the API using the open API specifications before implementing code. Documenting and mocking the APIs straight away enables greater collaboration and accelerates overall software delivery. Every organization has its own SDLC with various stages like dev, test, UAT, production, for example. The API lifecycle should be aligned with the SDLC process. Chetan, next slides, please. Now, needless to say, building APIs in a haphazard manner may damage the organization more than not having the APIs in first place. Over a period of time, exponential growth of APIs in an organization without a clear and structured API strategy will may bring down the business into chaos. What we see here is a methodical approach to categorize the APIs and place them rightly towards the customer experience, systems, and processes. API-led connectivity is a methodical way to connect data to applications through reusable and purposeful APIs. With this approach, APIs are designed and productized for a specific purpose and play one of these roles with the specific API layers. Unlocking data from systems, like with the system APIs, composing data into processes with the process APIs, or delivering an experience with experience APIs. The APIs must be reusable and discoverable by the rest of the organization. By building and organizing your APIs this way, and then making them discoverable and available for the business to self-service, API-led connectivity can make the business composable, allowing teams throughout the business to compose, recompose, and adapt these APIs to address the changing needs of business. Going bottom up in this diagram, system APIs can be either facades or compositions of system services like databases, mainframe, SaaS applications, file systems, or any of the legacy systems and apps. Primary purpose of system APIs will be to compose and recompose them, and teams can create API infrastructure enabling data plugging applications and systems to more easily accessible. This makes retiring or modernizing legacy systems much easier. These are highly consumable and usually specific set of devices or apps. These apps are the most reusable APIs across organization and typically mimic underlying data models and resources and tied closely to one or more backend systems. Next one up here is process APIs. These APIs are mainly for orchestration, further composition at a process level. Main objective for these APIs is to bring agility to the organization and create business value. These are reusable and usually developer-friendly APIs. These are basically abstractions of businesses, entities, and consumable resource for app developers. In an API-first design approach, we focus on delivering these consumable resources and hide implementation details from developers by providing a consistent interaction across different backends. Last one in the picture is up at the top is experience APIs. These are purpose-built APIs for customer-facing apps. These are external-facing and in most cases revenue-generating channels. They are precisely innovative packaged digital products, and experience APIs are tightly coupled to particular set of consuming applications or devices. And specializing to particular UI, API developers provide an optimized experience to the app developer, focusing on things like aggregation and optimizing payload for performance. And this approach, this approach helps developers to deliver new software faster across multiple consumer channels. And this layered approach will also help clearly define separate set of security requirements for different layers. And experience layers, if you look at the experience layers, they require the utmost security as they are external facing. They are usually required to be available in public domains, but they need to be protected with strong authentication and authorization policies. Whereas process APIs can have relatively restrictive availability and can only be accessed at a typically organization level. It is usually sufficient for them if they are only available in private networks. On the other hand, system APIs are completely localized to some set of systems. But security is necessary across all layers, and it is foundational to API infrastructure, both from the experience APIs to the backend services, and experience APIs to the apps, which in a nutshell across the entire digital value chain. Malicious users access the system through the same channels as the legitimate channels. Therefore, it is critical for this core function to be easily configurable and to enable security at all points of engagement. We should also consider strong encryption, proper authentication with latest standards like OAuth 2.0, good monitoring with audit and logging, protection with throttling and quotas, data validation, firewalls, and most of all, highly secure API gateway. Another key focus area for API programs will be on developer portals. Key aim for developer portals should be extensive adoption of APIs by app developers. Developer portals make APIs easily discoverable and provide API-related content to developers to make them successful. They provide easy onboarding, manage identities, access permission for internal and external developers, as well as partnered app developers. They help keep the documentation up to date, and some platforms even help auto-generate part or full documentation. Enabling a vibrant developer community also entails providing feedback, making it easy to request support and features. Next slide, please. And I have to say that we cannot finish any discussion about API programs without mentioning API analytics and monetization. Although some organizations don't put enough emphasis on API analytics, we believe it is important in closing the feedback loop for continuously improving the API strategy. As far as the API monetization goes, it may not be applicable for every organization where APIs are not direct revenue channels. But even for those organizations, API monetization can be used for insights. It becomes critical to know how API traffic is trending over time. Who are the top developers? When is the API response time fastest or slowest? Are we attracting more and more developers? Where do we see the most traffic geographically, etc.? And API Analytics empower businesses to answer questions like this, which helps enterprises to improve their APIs, attract right app developers, troubleshoot problems, and ultimately make better decisions related to the API program. All major API management solutions typically provide the visualization tools, dashboards, and reports to help measure a broad spectrum of data that flows across APIs. This information is most useful today in today's dynamic API economy when it is gathered, analyzed, and provided to the business in real time. Beyond simple charts and graphs, both the ops and the business teams should be able to gain a deep visibility into the performance of the API program. Some traffic composition reports provide insights into most valuable entities of an API program, like the apps, developers, APIs, and resources. And enterprises use the reports to detect business problems such as lower traffic trends or diminishing contribution from key apps and developers. And they can get early notifications of new entities that contribute to API traffic and take actions to respond. For example, we can determine which developers are contributing the most and include them in nurturing programs. Operation visibility is provided across all APIs, API traffic, top API movers, top API products, top tagged apps, top ranked apps, and also anomaly inspection and trend analysis. For individual APIs, enterprises can measure traffic, average response times, average target response time, maximum response time, error rate, and average data exchange, so on and so forth. Overall, API analytics and monitoring include both engineering focused metrics such as performance, uptime, but also tracking customers and product metrics such as engagement, retention, and developer conversion. One way or the other, all the digital assets and services that provide value to customers, partners, and end users can be a source of revenue. That's where API monetization comes into picture. Companies can charge for data or services as part of their business models, or they can share revenue with partner companies and developers. For example, content providers can offer valuable content such as maps and images that partners and developers will pay to access. Or companies can offer digital services such as address verification and checks. In the pre-API world, these transactions were done via contractual processes, data sharing agreements, and in some cases, the data was given away for free. With APIs, a company can make data and services available to front-end applications and partners in a easy and a scalable manner while tracking the usage and billing in real time. Using monetization, you can create a variety of rate plans that charge developers or pay them through revenue sharing for the use of your APIs. You can create prepaid, postpaid, fixed fee, variable rate, premium plans, as well as plans tailored to specific developers, plans covering groups of developers, and revenue sharing also. API providers can get reports on traffic to the APIs for which developers purchase a rate plan. API providers can create billing documents, including applicable taxes for the use of their API package and publish those documents to developers. Monetization also integrated with payment providers, allowing developers to prepay for their use. API providers can set limits to help control and monitor the performance of APIs and can set up automatic notifications for when limits are approached or reached. Developer portals include content that an API provider publishes viewing by developers, such as catalog of available API packages and rate plans for each package. API providers take advantage of monetization features in the developer portal or integrate monetization features into the developer portal. I think with that, I will hand it back over to Jatin.
Yep. Thanks, Varun. Probably, I see some questions coming in through Q&A. Would you like to take that up?
Yeah, let me take it up 1 second. Yeah, I see a couple of questions. I'd like to start up with this question. Uh, are ESBs relevant in API strategy? I think that is really a good question. Uh, Simple answer is yes, but it may be it may vary depending on the size of the organization, like number of different types of systems involved. And ESBs they are particularly helpful in transformations, and they can come with a rich set of adapters and connectors to integrate different applications, which otherwise are difficult to integrate. But when you look at the hybrid integration patterns, they also help you connect on-premises and cloud applications, and some of the iPaaS solutions they come with citizen development use cases also. And any non-technical person may be able to develop simple services. They're also good at composing multiple services, routing or mediation. But yeah, so definitely we need to consider the right ESB tool in the overall API strategy also. And I see one more question. First of all, I hope that answers your question. But if you still have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Customize it also. I see another question here. Is it possible to have more than one API management platform in an enterprise? Yes, of course it is. It is possible, but it is not typical. We don't see that often. Again, this depends on different factors like how big the organization is and how many business units the organization contains, and how those units share the technologies, and some other factors as well. And in case of mergers and acquisitions, we may see this quite often. They may have different API management platforms. And also another thing we see is platforms having strong ESP and iPaaS capabilities together, and they come along and they are tightly integrated. So they'll have some strong integrations. So we might want to use a particular ESB and iPaaS together with the API management platforms. And also some organizations may also consider different platforms for different kind of security, flexibility, or compliance requirements. And one other thing is to consider is to have unique API strategy and governance procedure, and possibly single registry for our single service discovery for APIs, and probably single developer portal facing the app developers also. I think I see another question here. With B2B integration, do both parties have to allow the API communication work? Ram or Murli, would you like to take this question?
I can do that.
Okay.
This is Ram. Thanks
Okay.
for that question. Yes, I think traditionally we have seen B2B integration with on-premise technology like EDI platforms and other kind of platforms. But what we have also seen the trend to in B2B is leverage APIs as the premise instead of the old school EDI. Now, again, not all B2B communication can be transformed into API. A good example is we have seen in the banking industry where banking and finance, where typically business-to-business communication used to be flat files or EDI like ACH and payments and things like that. But the industry itself is adopting API as a new standard for communication, and they are developing banking and financial organization related APIs. I think open banking is one such standard, much more adopted in Europe and the rest of the world. But also even in the US, banking organizations are transforming their old school EDI and flat files into standardized API interactions. And your question, do both parties have to allow the API communication? Definitely yes, right? Once one party decides, let's start using API as the mechanism of communication, the other side, another partner or a B2B company integrating or interfacing with them, have to understand how to consume that API. In another scenario, we have seen supply chain and consortiums for supply chain consortiums have started to establish something called API-based self-serve. That means an organization can expose various aspects of, say, submit invoice or reconcile payment kind of functions as APIs and allow their partner ecosystem to consume those APIs readily in the form of self-serving themselves. So, this kind of API-based B2B integration is, kind of paving a path to eliminate those rigid architectures of EDI, VANs, and on-premise systems, and paving a path for API-based, cloud-based, self-serve integration and communication. Hope that answers the question.
Yep. Yep. So, Murli, Varun, and Ram, thank you so much. For the audience, if you have any additional questions, please feel free to email us by responding to the email address on your webinar invite, and we will respond to you promptly. As I mentioned earlier, we will be sending out the recorded version of this webinar in the next few days. If you would like to start any new conversation, please email us at ask@keltontech.com or visit our website at www.keltontech.com. That is all that we have today for the webinar. Thank you again for joining us. You have been a fantastic audience. Bye-bye and have a good day.